Okay, here we are again on the easy playthrough using Great Britain, USA and Russia versus Germany, Japan and Italy. As mentioned, we're on a defence mission now, and I'm just going through the bits and pieces that we've got from the previous battle. We have this Italian tank, very weak, 16 armour with a single machine gun, I think, by the looks of it. 16 armour, 6 to 16. Potentially useless, but still another machine gun in the field, I guess, at this stage. Here's the little heroic tank from the last episode, with only 4 to 10 armour. Really flimsy. Really very flimsy indeed. So away we go. And we're into the preview stage where we're looking around at the map to see how the land lies. So as you can see, the enemy are looking likely to come from the east. We've got two positions to defend which are quite far apart. So what I'm thinking here is a defensive line almost reaching the 2 points. And I was thinking also about mining the roads, but of course I haven't got any AT miners, which I realised. So mining of the roads was out. I did have a flamer though, and a standard engineer. But no need to dig trenches. As you can see, there's a lot of trenches dotted around in this map. So here's all the troops more or less laid out. And you can see that I've scattered them around the right hand defensive position. I've been using obviously the trenches that are all around. I've got some flamers up front here. I've got I think these are the auxiliary riflemen. They're going to be watching out for when the enemy start arriving. And now the first enemy contact appears right in the centre of the map, heading directly at our defensive line. I've got one of those flimsy German tanks up front, I think it's a Panzer I. And my flak gun opens up on what looks to be like an armoured car. So in this defence mission I'm aiming to intercept the guns they hide at the back of the map, which I like to do. So hopefully I can attack them from the rear and take them out. That's my plan anyway. Again, you can see that they're sending a lot of infantry and another vehicle down the centre. But we've got plenty of hardware to deal with that. Yeah, so up to now it's been just random small attacks that they've been sending forward. A few troops dotted around the edges. And I think our flak gun took a hit there. We have an injured man in the trench. We call the medic over. It takes me 3 attempts to click the right button. And as you can see here, there's some random infantry heading towards the flak gun and getting made short work of. But there is something shooting at us. That's our officer, who would have been ideal as a scout actually, but he wasn't placed from the offset. I've got an abundance of equipment, abundance of everything. Not very high level at this stage because I haven't really gone far down the tech trees. So yeah, just the sheer number that I've got here at the moment. That's what you get with an easy playthrough. On the harder playthrough, or on the hardcore playthrough that I'm doing with the Germans, I found that it gets a lot harder because the cumulative losses outweigh the winnings, and eventually you're, dwindled to virtually nothing. If you keep losing, like I am on that playthrough, about 40 men per mission, and various vehicles, etc., what you end up with is not making enough on low economy, which I am there, to replace what you've lost. And so you're basically, it's an ever dwindling situation. So on that hardcore playthrough, what I'm finding is that it's probably better to try to spec into one particular tree, whether that be artillery, tanks or infantry, and try to get as strong as you can in one tree, because you'll never make all 3 trees. And obviously keep getting a little bit of support and maybe some engineers, etc., to add to that. Infantry are good all-rounders, they do have everything, but you've got to get a bit further down the tree to really utilise the anti-tank capabilities, for example. And obviously to get more hit points. So they are pushing on our left hand side, and they're pushing the point there, and as you can see it's just AI defenders and whatever equipment and men I've got within reach of the left hand side. But reach we can, and we're making short work of them over that side too. So I start to use some of my support call-ins, clear out some of the more difficult areas where I don't particularly want to try and manoeuvre around with some troops and throw a grenade, use some smoke, throw a grenade. So I've just got these call-ins. It's all legal stuff, you know. And I just bombard, and as you can see from the text on the top right of the screen, it's showing you what damage that mortar barrage is doing to the enemy. A nice clear out there, a nice bit of carnage. I decided a 50 kilo bomb, I believe it is, on top of this artillery piece. You can see the plane flying in. What I found with these call-ins, especially the bombs, the planes tend to get shot down a lot. I've never had a full set of these, and here you can see one of the Italian tanks drives past a trench with flamers in it, and that shows you how effective the flamers can be. A nice little ambush there. And here comes the 50 kilo bomb. I think the first plane may have been shot down potentially. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention. But here she comes. Opens up with the machine gun fire first. I think that probably wipes it all out before the bomb even drops. Oh no, you can see a few more lines of text appear when that bomb was dropped. Quite an effective weapon there. So I'm out of supports now, but I've still got a lot of equipment on the floor. The leftmost defense point seems to have held out with the help of the human troops, let's call it, and not the AI troops. The player controlled troops, let's call it that. You can see there's just little dots of resistance around now trying to attack me. A bit futile. But they are a bit of a pain though as well, because they dig in well and they're always hiding round the back. So I hook up the flak cannon and decide to move it forward a touch, because I think I've already spotted that there was a few bits and pieces in this corner. Didn't want to go charging in, of course, and there you can see one is revealed. And we're taking some fire. The enemy are being depleted now. I'm crawling this guy up because I know there is a machine gun and I think a artillery piece just behind this wall. So I'm doing the right thing. I'm throwing a bit of smoke. Maybe not far enough really, but I did throw some smoke. Let the smoke disperse a little bit. Crawl in. Get my anti-tank grenade and aim for the artillery piece. The problem is I've crawled through the smoke, but I have managed to get the artillery grenade, the anti-tank grenade off and destroyed the gun. This is another problem, when instead of walking through the trench, I decide to crawl above the trench. And that's to his detriment, he's gone. So this guy's under fire. I decide to lay him down inside the trench to not get killed. We really are just clearing up the last bits and pieces now. It's virtually all over. Not much more to do here. And as you can see, there'll be a fair bit of looting going on towards the end. Got a few carcass vehicles that can be looted. No need for satchel charges on this particular mission, really. No need for the close quarter stuff. We didn't need to dig holes. We didn't really direct control any vehicles or tanks that we needed to switch to HE or armor piercing. We didn't have any miners. And we didn't raid any tanks for demo charges. These were the tips that I was telling you about. We did, however, lose Alexander Stewart, unfortunately. He's gone now, unfortunately. But we did still keep Evgeny Rinkov alive, the heroic tank man, or tank crew. So here, another silly thing. I roll forward knowing there's a gun around somewhere, and I see it and open fire on it, and I can actually see the tank, the artillery piece turning towards me, the field gun. But rather than reversing while shooting, I just started reversing. I just got into my head, got to reverse, get out of that, and unfortunately that was the end of that. So that was a bit messy, just trying to clear up these last few AT guns that were hanging around in the corner. A little bit messy. So you can use the boxing analogy. You can say that, you know, you've got to have good defense and you've got to have good attack. You can't hang around just defending and not push. You've got to keep pushing as well. All in all, it's going pretty good. Yeah, we're going to probably lose a few more. This is probably where Alex Stewart dies, actually. Unfortunately, I should have not really attacked in this way. Should have just stayed a little bit more defensive. Thrown smoke, definitely. I think I do throw smoke actually. Yeah, I throw some smoke. But I'm like throwing smoke and running forward at the same time. It's not particularly effective. I've got my eyes on the artillery piece, but he fires and kills 1 and 2. And that was the end of Alex Stewart. So we know we've got that little artillery piece to deal with over there. And actually I've run forward with a tank crew and his pistol. And he's dealt with it. Mr. Colosso. Mr. Colosso jumped in there with his pistol. I can't see his first name clearly. So then Mr. Colosso runs past another artillery piece, not realising there's a man on it, and then again turns with his pistol and dispatches another one. So another heroic tank man. And then we've got these random field guns to deal with. So I decided to push on with the entire squad of, I think, British regular with the Bren gun. And they line up along the trench and start shooting at the artillery pieces there. Clear it all out that way, and then we move across to deal with this other piece which is out in the open here, but the mortar opens fire on it because it's been revealed by the troops in the trench, and that one is dealt with also. So now it's looting time, basically. I think we've cleared the entire map of enemy, or any enemy that are actually affecting us. So now it's a case of get the spanners out and get fixing the vehicles and looting them, and jump onto any artillery pieces that are lying about, and machine guns, etc. And so we finish the battle, we lose 20 odd men. We gain 10 research, that's fantastic. 125 ammunition and 2,000 coins. I'm going to call them coins, could be points, could be anything. So now you can see we've got 4,400 coins, we've got 1.5 stars, and we've got 14 research, which is fantastic. I made the mistake here of resupplying everything when I didn't need to, because I actually sold a lot of stuff off as well. I had, I think, 4 or 5 of those really flimsy Italian tanks, and I had 3 of these Italian armoured cars as well. They might, yeah, they are Italian, yeah. So I've got a choice now what to do with my 14 points. It's a lot of research. But as I mentioned earlier, I want to spec into one tree and get a very strong thing from that tree. So I go down the tank tree on the American side. And at this point I've got a choice whether to go into that smaller tree to the right and take on more of that equipment, or stick where I am and wait for more research points to unlock the M4A1 and then the tanks that are below. I decide that for this sort of playthrough, at this point in time I've got plenty enough power in that tank there that I've just unlocked, so no need to use any more points and save them. So here is the M4A1 Sherman with 89 turret armour, huge. Good penetration, can fire up to 200 meters, and it's got 2 Browning machine guns. So I buy 2 of them. Two of them lovely Shermans with the tank that's been doing us well. You can see I've sold off all of those small Italian tanks. I've got far too many field guns as well now that I've been looting. Far too many field guns, machine guns, armoured cars, etc. Even I did think about selling this. I didn't sell it because it's been with us since the beginning virtually, so I thought no, that's more nostalgic than anything. And I'm now with an abundance of riches, I'm starting to confuse myself. What do I want to do? You know, what do I want to do? buying stuff, putting stuff into the veterans tab, putting stuff into the actual phases, ready for the next missions. And as you can see there, I bought 2 of the Shermans, which are really the biggest expense I made, but I've still got 4,200 coin, you know, and it's a lot more chilled out, a lot more fun, I think, actually, to some degree. What I wouldn't do again, I don't think, is use free nations, because having free tech trees doesn't really make it more fun at all, I don't think. If anything, it makes it a bit less fun because you're not quite sure what you want to pick. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you again. So take care and goodbye.